It was a cold evening.
Outside a busy restaurant, a poor man sat quietly on the sidewalk. His clothes were old. His shoes were torn. People walked past him like he didn't exist. Some laughed. Some ignored him. But one woman stopped. She didn't know that the man she was about to help was secretly a billionaire testing people's hearts. And what she did next would change both of their lives forever. His name was Michael Carter. To the world, he was a powerful billionaire, the owner of one of the biggest tech companies in the country. But after years of success, Michael had become tired of something. Fake people. Everyone around him wanted his money. Friends disappeared when he stopped paying. Even the woman he once loved left him for someone richer. Michael began to wonder something painful. Does anyone truly care about people anymore? So one day, he decided to do something unusual, something no one expected. Michael dressed like a homeless man. Old jacket, dirty jeans, unshaved beard. He went to one of the busiest streets in the city. Then he sat down quietly beside a restaurant. His plan was simple. He wanted to see how people treated someone who looked poor and useless. For hours, people passed him. Some avoided eye contact. Some whispered insults. One man even said, "Get a job, lazy man." Michael said nothing, but every word hurt. Then, a woman walked out of the restaurant. Her name was Emily. She was carrying a small food bag. She looked tired, like someone who had worked a long day. As she walked past Michael, she suddenly stopped. She looked at him carefully. Then she walked closer. "Sir, are you okay?" Michael looked surprised. No one had spoken to him kindly all day. Emily opened her food bag. Inside was the only meal she had bought for herself. She gently handed it to Michael.
"Please take this."
Michael hesitated. "You need this more than I do." Emily smiled softly. "I can always eat later." "But you look like you haven't eaten all day." Michael slowly accepted the food. It had been years since someone had shown him kindness without expecting something in return. Michael asked her, "Why would you help a stranger?" Emily sat beside him. Then she said something that surprised him. "Because I know how it feels." She explained that her life had not been easy. Her father died when she was young. Her mother got sick. Emily had been working 2 jobs to support them. Sometimes she barely had money for food. But she said something powerful. Being poor should never make us lose our humanity. Suddenly, rain began to fall heavily. People rushed into cars. But Emily stayed. She removed her scarf and handed it to Michael. "You might get sick." Michael asked, "What about you?" She laughed. "I've survived worse." That night, Michael returned to his mansion. But something was different. He couldn't stop thinking about Emily. In a world full of selfish people, she had shared her last meal with a stranger. Michael said to himself, maybe there are still good people left. But he wanted to know more about her. The next day, Michael asked his assistant to find Emily. Within hours, they discovered everything. Emily worked at a small cafe. She lived in a tiny apartment. Her mother needed expensive medical treatment, and Emily was drowning in debt. Yet despite all that, she still helped strangers. Michael felt something deep in his heart. Respect. 2 days later, Michael returned to the same street, again dressed as a poor man. And just as he expected, Emily appeared again after work. She smiled when she saw him. "You're still here." Michael nodded. She brought him food again. But this time Michael asked her something important. "What if the person you help can never repay you?" Emily looked at him and said something unforgettable. "Kindness is not a loan. You don't help people to be repaid." Weeks passed. Michael kept visiting her in disguise. But one day, Emily arrived crying. Michael asked what happened. Her voice trembled. "The hospital said my mother's treatment must start immediately. But I don't have enough money." Michael felt his heart sink. Emily looked exhausted. She had been working nonstop, skipping sleep, skipping meals, trying to save money. But the amount needed was impossible. Michael finally realized something. Emily had been helping him for weeks, while she herself was suffering. The next day, Emily was called to a large company building. She was confused. When she walked inside, Everyone looked at her with respect. Then a man walked toward her in an expensive suit. It was Michael, but this time, she barely recognized him.
Clean.
Confident. Powerful. He smiled gently. Hello, Emily. Emily looked confused. How do you know my name? Michael took a deep breath. Then he told her everything. The experiment. The disguise. The nights on the street. Emily was speechless. Michael said something that made her cry. In a city full of people, you were the only one who showed kindness. You gave your last meal to someone you believed was nothing. Then he handed her a document. I want to help your mother. The document showed something unbelievable. Michael had paid all medical bills. But that wasn't all. Michael offered Emily a job in his company. Not as a cleaner. Not as a receptionist. But as the director of a new charity foundation. A foundation created to help people in need. Because Michael said something powerful. Money builds companies. But kindness builds the world. In a world where many people chase money, Emily chose kindness. She helped someone who looked worthless, without knowing he had the power to change her life. But the truth is, she didn't help him because he was rich. She helped him because she had a good heart. And sometimes, that is the greatest wealth anyone can have. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes kindness exists. Because stories like this remind us of something important. The world still needs good hearts.